Hi, nice to meet you. Just to make sure, this is Gabriel, right?
Who is this?
I've got the right person, yeah? I'm glad I've reached you. I wanted to thank you for everything.
I have absolutely no idea what I might have done to earn a random thank you from a stranger. But I guess I'll say you're welcome and move on. But really, who are you?
I'm Marcus' new wife.
Huh? His new wife? He has a new wife?
I've wanted to get in contact with you for so long. Didn't I steal Marco away from you? That's why I wanted to get in contact with you. I just had to apologize for taking him from you. But Marco kept stopping me, telling me that I didn't need to bother.
Please, hold on just a second. Let me get this straight. You would be the woman Marco was cheating on me with, right?
That's right.
You're his. Oh, I see.
I think you already knew that he was having an affair. But maybe there were some parts that you didn't know. I've been seeing Marco for about a year before you guys finally got a divorce. We'd both gotten quite serious with one another. That's why he got divorced. He wants to marry me so badly.
I never knew that Marco had a mistress. This is the first time hearing of it. I didn't know anything about you.
He must have been trying to protect me from you.
Moving on. I can't imagine what reason my ex-husband's mistress could possibly have to go out of her way to reach out to me. I have nothing to say to you.
Please, don't speak so coldly to me. I just wanted to contact you so I could introduce myself and apologize for taking your husband from you. I just thought that it was a proper thing to do. Doesn't it seem like the courteous thing to do?
Even though you stayed absolutely quiet about it up until now?
I already told you that it was because Marco kept preventing me from reaching out to you. Please, understand that it was just because Marco wanted to protect me.
You were having an affair with the person I was married to. It's honestly very difficult to comprehend why you would want to talk to me at all, unless you're looking to gloat.
It all happened so suddenly. And once we started sleeping together, we just couldn't stop.
Alright, well, I accept your apology. If you'd like to financially compensate me for stealing my husband, we can keep talking.
Financially compensate you?
Yeah, that's right. If you feel so guilty about what you've done, then maybe some consolation money would rid you of that guilty conscience. I mean, you were having an affair with my husband. Don't you think I deserve a little bit of consolation?
As if! You shouldn't go around begging people for money. It's not a good look. Besides, I heard all about everything that was going on from Marco when you were getting divorced. You never saw the divorce settlement.
You and Marco decided on how everything should be split yourselves?
We don't keep secrets from each other.
No secrets? Well, that's convenient. So, you two decided to be together despite knowing everything about Marco.
Absolutely. I accepted everything, and now we're happily married. We just filed our marriage paperwork this morning. I'm thankful for your amicable divorce with Marco. It made things simpler. Finally, Marco and I can enjoy a happy life together. I hope you find happiness too, Gabriel. Thanks for everything. And I'll let you go now.
Wait, you contacted me to give condolences?
Yeah, why else? Oh, and to express my gratitude for finally letting the divorce happen so we could all move on. I mean, it was quite a long and drawn out process, wasn't it? That's why I'm thankful you let it go. Marco often calls me his angel for saving him from you.
An angel wouldn't sleep with a married man. And I have a feeling you're not really here to give condolences.
Well, maybe you caught me. LOL. I just thought it would be fun to let you know how long Marco and I have been together. And not gloating though. Gotta go get ready for our celebratory dinner. I still need to buy a nice dress. Later!
Penelope, I apologize for contacting you when you must be so terribly busy. I really appreciate your help with the divorce proceedings the other day.
Gabrielle, Nice to hear from you. I've actually just finished handling a different matter. I've just got some free time now. I mean, it was my dumb little brother that caused you so much trouble. I really couldn't forgive him personally or as a lawyer, so I was happy to help. Did you see his face when the divorce was settled? It was so refreshing to see him like that.
I was glad to have your assistance, Penelope. I know nothing about the law. So, having you make all those moves is the sole reason I was able to see that face. But I really must apologize for getting you to handle my divorce proceedings. Feel like it must have been hard to have to face your own brother in a court of law.
To be perfectly honest, I'd much rather have a little sister like you than a little brother like him. I'm glad that I was able to help you out, Gabriel.
I'm really thankful for all that you've done. By the way, I actually received a message from a person claiming to be Marca's mistress earlier today.
Really? The day after you got divorced?
She said that she just wanted to check in and express her thanks and condolences. But to be perfectly honest, all I can think is that she called me to rub it in my face.
That certainly sounds like a woman who would sleep with a married man. She must have nothing going on inside of that brain of hers.
She said that they got legally married this morning. Marco got remarried the day after yesterday.
What could my stupid little brother possibly be thinking?
I told her that if she was contacting me to apologize, she could just pay me. She told me that I shouldn't ask for any money, since I didn't even ask for alimony during the divorce. It seemed like she had complete knowledge of everything that was decided in the divorce proceedings.
Is that right? Well, because your aim was just to get divorced as quickly as possible, we never considered trying to arrange for a settlement asking for any sort of payment out of him would have just dragged everything out. I think it's better this way. You never have to see him again.
Yeah, that's true. It's all worth it to be free of him.
How about we get some dinner? Let's enjoy the success.
Yeah, let's get dinner.
Then I'll head over to your place once I leave the office. It shouldn't take me too long to get there.
Penelope, I should have just married you instead of your little brother.
Even if you had married me instead, that thing would still have happened in the end.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, and I mean, that was the reason I had to get divorced. Speaking of which, do you know anything about that?
I've already cut ties with my brother, so I have no idea. But that still doesn't change the fact that we're related by blood, huh? I hate that crafty, cowardly little man. I'm so thankful that you gathered up so much evidence on him, Gabrielle. Thanks to you, we were able to move through the divorce procedures at an advantage and bring that awful marriage to an end.
It was easier to keep moving forward when I just told myself that everything I was doing was to gather evidence on him. It started to get a little fun even. Alright, I'm going to get ready to go. So I'll be waiting in the entryway at my apartment complex when you get here.
Okay, see you soon. I should be able to get over there in about 20 minutes while obeying the speed limit, of course.
See you soon. Be careful.
Gabriel, good afternoon. It's Marco's wife, Cassandra.
Do you still have some business with me?
Hey, Gabriel. I had something I wanted to ask you. How bad of a wife were you that you weren't able to live happily with such a great man? Well, I thought I'd share some of my happiness with you.
You're going to share your happiness with me? I feel perfectly refreshed thanks to finally being able to get divorced. I'm already plenty happy, so don't worry about me.
It's no trouble to be concerned about you. I have the happiness to spare over here. You don't have to be so surly. Being loved by a man is the number one joy in a woman's life, you know. He divorced you, so you must be sad. There must still just be a hole inside of your heart. That happiness you're telling yourself you feel now is just an attempt to deceive yourself of the pain that's hidden deep inside.
Please, don't pretend like you understand how I feel about anything. You shouldn't doubt somebody when they tell you they're happy.
Marco and I are having the greatest newlywed life, by the way. Every day, when he comes home from work, He stops to pick me up a little present.
He gets you a present on the way home from work?
He may never have wanted to give you any presents just because, but he's so much more in love with me, so naturally, he would stop to pick one up just for me every day. He's always telling me that he just wants to give me presents. Marco is the best. He says it's just because I love him. A couple of days ago, he bought me a brand new bag from my favorite brand. I was just so ecstatic. I just told him that I wanted to look at it on the internet on a whim, and he went and got it for me. He catches every little indication that I want something without missing a beat. I guess that's what love is, huh?
It's true. I never saw him do anything even remotely like that from the day we met, up until we get divorced.
The day after we got married, he got me a bouquet of roses.
A little trite, don't you think?
No matter what he gives me, whether it's tried or not, it's a thought that counts. Yesterday, as soon as I said I wanted to eat, he was out of the house. Before I knew it, he was back with a bunch of cake that he apparently bought at a cake shop. The two of us sat laughing as I told him I couldn't eat it all because there was just so much. Oh, it was just too delicious. I ate it all up in the end.
You really seem happy. But aren't you questioning how he could be getting you that many presents every single day? You'll run out of money.
Right? I was thinking the same thing. No matter how many times he tells me that he makes $200,000 a year, it still astonishes me that he can get me so much. But $200,000 is a lot, so there's no real issue, huh? I told him I've had enough presents though, so he doesn't have to buy me presents every day. But in exchange, we have to go on a honeymoon straight away. Or at least, that's what I'm thinking. Today, I've been looking at different honeymoon options. I even went to a travel agency.
A honeymoon?
Don't tell me that you never went on a honeymoon with David. That's just so sad. I was kind of getting the feeling that you hadn't. The reason for that is because he told me that he wished he would get to go on a honeymoon. Gabriel, did you really love Marco? I got the feeling that you never even liked him. If you had loved him, you would have done what he wanted, right? That's the normal thing to do.
There are various reasons why couples can't go on a honeymoon after they get married. There was a reason why we were unable to go on a honeymoon. We spent the money that would have been used on a honeymoon on the wedding ceremony instead of a honeymoon.
That's right. I was actually planning to have a small ceremony on the honeymoon since we didn't have to do a proper one. There are honeymoons you can plan where you can do a mock wedding ceremony. I still need to talk to Marco about it, but I'm sure he'll agree because he gives me everything I want. I've always wanted to have a wedding on a tropical island, so I'm really thrilled with the idea. If you'd like, I could mail you an invitation.
Why would I go to my ex-husband and his mistress' wedding? What would be the point of my participation in something like that?
Yeah, I guess you're right. What was I thinking? You'd probably explode with jealousy, huh?
I wouldn't explode with jealousy.
Because it's our honeymoon. We won't actually be having any guests. The wedding will be just the two of us. Sorry that I tried to mislead you. Even if I wanted you to come, I wouldn't be able to invite you. I wanted to share our happiness with you at the very least. So I'll make sure to take lots of pictures. I'll send them to you once we get back, okay?
That's fine. Don't bother. I divorced Marco. I have no attachment to him anymore. Go ahead and do whatever you'd like with him. I don't care.
Thank you for doing that for me.
Haven't you heard the reason we got divorced?
Huh? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Of course. I know why you got divorced. Isn't it because you found out about our affair? Didn't Marco divorce you so that he could get married to me?
That's wrong. You thought it was because of that? I didn't even know he was sleeping with another woman.
I'm wrong? If it wasn't that, then what was it?
The biggest reason that I got divorced from Marco is because of all his debts.
His debts?
He has $2,000 in debt. There is one big reason for that.
He has $200,000 in debt? Wait just a second. Isn't that what his yearly salary is? Why does he have that much debt?
Oh, he doesn't have any sort of yearly salary. What do you mean by that? I mean, exactly what I said. He doesn't have a job right now, so he has no income.
Wait, hold on a second. He said that he was working at a large tech company.
He definitely was once working at a large tech company. We met there. Originally, what we had together was a workplace romance. After meeting at the same tech company, we got married. After we got married, he quit his job so that he could go independent.
Go independent? He quit his job. He told me he was the president of his company, though.
Yes, he did form his own company. But he's also the only employee and that company makes no profit. Things didn't go well, and he had a lot of setbacks. I supported him with what he wanted to do, but at a certain point, that wasn't enough. Financially speaking, there was no problem with him not having an income, but that's when things got worse.
Wait, so what happened? He didn't go back and look for a new job, did he?
No, he did go to some interviews looking for a new job, but he gave up after failing 2 interviews. I think the experience might have broken his spirit.
Then what is he doing now for work? Where does he go off to every morning? You know, don't you?
He's probably just playing slots every day. He used to tell me he was going to work when in actuality, he was just going to the casino.
He's going gambling? That doesn't work. Isn't that just goofing around? Wait, what about the presents? Where is he getting the money?
I thought I told you already. Weren't you paying attention? I told you that he has $200,000 in debt.
You've got to be lying. Are you really going to tell me that he took out a loan that large just to live off of?
Well, when you're not able to find work, your debt just gets bigger and bigger. I'm sure the house will be foreclosed on before long. He finally came out to me about all the money he'd borrowed and the debt that naturally accrued. That's when I learned about all of his debt. I decided at the moment to get a divorce and made my request, but he absolutely refused to get divorced no matter what. He was being absolutely unreasonable. That's when our long, protracted divorce proceedings began.
The fact that I was having an affair with your husband wasn't the reason that the divorce process was so protracted. The real reason it was so protracted is because he was being absolutely unreasonable about his desire to not get divorced. He's really the reason that it took so long for you guys to get divorced.
Yeah, he didn't want to lose his wife, who was making $200,000 a year. Even if he took out a bunch of loans, he was just doing so to ensure that he could maintain his lifestyle. But in the midst of his stalling tactics, he disclosed to me that he was having an affair. He told me that he'd only get divorced if I guaranteed that I wouldn't pursue him over the infidelity. It seemed to be his final trump card in his vain attempt to prevent our divorce. But I was more than satisfied with that condition, so the divorce was settled immediately after.
Then, he didn't get divorced for me? He was just using me to delay your impending divorce.
But I was aiming to get divorced as fast as possible, so his condition didn't do him any good. I could just accept it on the spot and the divorce could be finalized. His ploy blew up in his face, huh? I guess with that, he decided on a backup plan of getting married to you. He probably thought he could take out a new loan and start a brand new life elsewhere. I don't understand his baffling train of thought, but that is the sort of way he thinks.
I didn't know anything about that.
But you're incredible, Cassandra. You've accepted all of his flaws and married him.
I didn't. I knew nothing about his debt.
He is probably going to take you on that honeymoon with the money he borrowed. That wedding you were talking about on a tropical beach somewhere is also probably going to be paid for from the same source. But you should have lots of fun. You don't need to share your happiness with me, though. You can just enjoy it all by yourself. I don't mind. Oh, by the way, I got a call from one of the Marcos moneylenders the other day. I was happy to inform him that I had nothing to do with it anymore. I gave them your number, though.
Why would you do that? Doing that will hurt me, you know.
But you're his wife? It makes much more sense for them to talk to you instead of me, don't you think? Actually, I realized that we were still paying off Marcus' car as well. I have been making the payments on it since we were married, but it is Marcus' property. I'm going to have a call with my lawyer in a little bit, so just to make sure the lease gets transferred over properly. This kind of thing is all Greek to me, but my lawyer is quite good. There's also his phone bill, Xbox subscription, video subscriptions, and all that. Hopefully, it should all get transferred over soon.
Now, just hold on. You can't do that. I quit my job because I thought I was going to be marrying a man who was making $200,000 a year.
I wasn't aware of that. Oh, I'm getting a call from my lawyer now, so I've gotta go. I'll remain in contact so we can make sure everything gets transferred over correctly. Oh, before I forget, it would probably be best for you to try and be polite with my lawyer when you talk with her. She's actually Marco's big sister.
Marcus' sister is a lawyer?
Well, they don't really get along. They're kind of like water and oil. So there's no way she's going to help you out, though. Naturally, if you've married her little brother, she's become her sister-in-law. But given her relationship with her little brother, that doesn't really say much. Anyhow, you should probably get in contact with her so you can cooperate with getting everything set up right. What was it that you said before? Oh, right. It's the proper thing to do. Alright. Well, I'll be going now.
Gabriel, I'm in a desperate situation. I need you to help me. Can you ask Penelope to be my lawyer?
What happened?
I want a divorce, and I want Penelope to be my divorce lawyer.
She won't do that. Do you have the money to hire a lawyer?
I can't afford one. I've already lost all my savings.
You lost it? Where did you lose it?
You know what I mean. When I married Marco, he suggested combining our assets as husband and wife. He withdrew all my savings to pay up some of his debt, claiming it was for our honeymoon.
Well, that's a disaster. Seems like you've made quite a mistake.
You shouldn't act like this has nothing to do with you. You've cursed me with this ill fortune. If you hadn't divorced him, this wouldn't have happened to me. It's all your fault. Get Penelope to help me get my money back.
I refuse. You took him on. You married him, hardly knowing anything about him. So you deserve whatever you get for making such a foolish decision, including you know who, huh?
What do you mean? Is there someone else involved? Are you saying there's something worse than his debt?
Oh, it seems you don't know. I'm talking about his mother, your new mother-in-law.
My mother-in-law? What about her?
Could it be you still haven't met her? It's okay. I'm sure she'll be by before long to say hello. But you might want to prepare yourself.
Prepare myself? Prepare myself for what? Are you trying to tell me that there's something worse than all the debt Marco has?
It's the real reason why he has all the debts in the first place.
What are you talking about? Be more specific.
Isn't there no way he'd need to have $200,000 in debt, given my salary, just to cover our living expenses and money for him to gamble with? He sends money to her all the time to support her. He sends her $3,000 a month.
He sends $3,000 a month to his mother?
His mother asked him to send it. So, given his personality, he couldn't refuse. She told him that he had to send her money if he wasn't going to let her live with him.
Why should he have to pay her if he isn't going to let her live with him?
If he stops sending her money, she's just going to move herself in. Oh, there are some things you didn't know. The reason we couldn't go on a honeymoon is that my former mother-in-law insisted upon the wedding being held locally, and she added various elements to the plans without consulting us. Many options were changed, and the cost of the trip fell on us to cover, even though we'd already reserved a nice hotel for our honeymoon. We weren't able to use it because his mother insisted she should be the one to use it. The only thing I can remember from my honeymoon is being a chauffeur for my former mother-in-law.
You're lying, right? Please, tell me you're lying. Marco, in addition to having a mountain of debt, has such a horrendous family? That can't be true, right?
The problems with my former mother-in-law didn't stop with just the wedding. Marco's relationship with his mother never changed. I considered getting a divorce for a long time, but I didn't have a lawyer, so I didn't really know how to proceed. When Marco's sister reached out to me, it was such a relief. She told me that she would advocate for me and release me from my torment. She was like an angel sent from heaven.
Are you telling me that I've been sent to hell? I'm begging you, Gabriel. Please, save me from this. I can't endure it. I'll do anything. I'm very good at housework. I'll do all your housework if you just save me from Marco and his parents. Please, you can't leave me to this fate.
It's not good to push your problems onto others. I don't need to help you.
This isn't the happy life I want. It isn't what I signed up for. The only thing that awaits me is a miserable newlywed life. That's not what married life should be. Speaking of which, when we were considering our honeymoon plans, Marcus said that he just wanted to invite his parents. Could he really intend on just repeating the same horrific experience that you were forced to go through?
I'd say the possibility is quite high. Well, it has nothing to do with me anymore, so I don't care. I'm in the process of buying a condo near work, so I've got to get going.
You're buying a condo? Don't you work downtown?
Yeah, my yearly income is $200,000 after all. Same as what Marco claimed he was to you, right? I've separated from my dead adult husband so I can finally get approved for loans again. I thought now would be a good chance to buy my very own condo.
Wait, please, I beg you. I'll do anything. I'm very good at housework. I'll do all your housework if you just save me from this. It's unbearable. Please, just hide me away in that condo that you're buying. I can be a live-in housekeeper or something. Please.
I'm sorry to tell you this, but I don't have it in me to get along with my ex-husband's mistress. This is the path you've chosen for yourself. It's up to you to find a way out of it. Please don't involve me in your problems. Well, time for me to get going. Please speak to my lawyer if you need anything else.
I'm on my hands and knees here. You've got to help me. I don't want to be cast down into this hell.
In the end, Cassandra filed for divorce. But as to be expected from Marco, he refused to sign any of the necessary paperwork for the divorce to go through. I heard that she got rehired at the company. She quit after getting married so that she could at least afford their living expenses. She started to secretly save away some money for the long divorce proceedings, while her husband tried to use her earnings to pay off more debt. It sounds like the life she ended up with is far from what one would call happiness. My ex-husband's debts increased and he felt the weight of all his bad decisions begin to crush him. I heard from Penelope that he started calling her up, sobbing to lend him money so that he could pay off his debts. After she refused, he started begging for a job. Penelope just rejected his requests. However, apparently, his parents are now living in squalor because he is no longer able to send them money every month.